Chairman, thank you, will make permanent the withdrawal and reservation of public lands associated with the Naval Air Weapons Station China Lake in Southern California. This land was already withdrawn for military use by the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2014. The current withdrawal, which was approved last year by the Congress, extended the reservation until 2039. Apparently, for the majority, this is an insufficient period of time, and the land should be permanently transferred to the Department of Defense or at least indefinitely withdrawn. This may sound good to those who want to sell off our public lands to the highest bidder, but it's not what the Department of Defense asked for, and it's unfair to the American taxpayer. In addition to making permanent the withdrawal of H.R. In addition to making permanent the withdrawal, H.R. 4458 adds 26,349 acres to China Lake, over half of which the Navy testified that it does not want to manage. Forcing the Department of Defense to manage land that it doesn't need will divert critical resources that should be used to make sure our men and women in uniform have what they need to keep our country safe and not be preoccupied managing grazing permits. And we all know lately how easy that's been. We support the ongoing use of public lands by our nation's military. Congress passed the Engle Act in 1958 to ensure proper oversight of the military's use of public lands. Thanks to that oversight and periodic review, approximately 16 million acres of public lands are currently withdrawn and reserved for military purposes in joint cooperation with the public land agencies and the military. This cooperation ensures that the military mission is prioritized as long as it's needed, but allows for discussion of long-term protection and potential uses of the lands in the future. While used by the military, the land still belongs to the American public. I received a letter this week from the Assistant Secretary of Defense. The letter said that the indefinite withdrawal envisioned by the bill will disable the customary evaluation used to determine the ongoing usefulness of a specific withdrawal and lock the department into outdated terms associated with the original withdrawal. The main takeaway from the letter is that the military does not support the current language of the bill. In my opinion, that should be enough for us to reconsider its merit and rethink our approach. The Department of Defense has made suggestions about how to improve the way it accesses and uses public lands. These suggestions are ignored by the bill and by this committee. I want to remind the supporters of the legislation that the land belongs to the American people, and the 25-year review period allows all interested parties to evaluate the usefulness of the withdrawal and the ongoing use by the military. There may be specific instances where a permanent transfer to the Defense Department makes sense, but this is not one of them. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back his time. Is there further discussion on the